Yeah.
We can do a weather forecast.
Crazy, isn't it?
I tell you. Well, there was one SCIL game play this past week. We had it on the Friday show. That was Hopatcong and Vernon. Hopatcong gets a 3-2 victory, and Toby Richards said after the game, hey, it's good to play a close one like that as we head into the state tournament, and they continue to move up in the top 20 in the state. They're now number 12, so Hopatcong rolls along, Quinn.
Coach Richards, Jerry, is right on the money with that statement because even though Hopatcong has been averaging double digits in their conference games in terms of runs scored, as they progress through that state tournament, you'll probably see fewer runs scored, and you may see some 3-2 ball games, 4-3 ball games. So, as Coach Richards said, to play an occasional 2-1, 3-2 game will benefit the Hopatcong Chiefs. But that mean green fighting machine, Jack, as you say, continues to roll.
Plenty of offense, so they kind of come back there for being down 2-0. I believe Vernon scored their 2 runs in the first inning.
Joe D'Amelio hits not one but 2 home runs. Joe D'Amelio bailed them out with the bat, and of course Anthony Petrock and Rob Daly, their top 2 pitchers, stymied the Vernon bats after that early uprising.
Okay, let's say you're a coach and all your games are rained out 1 week, and now you're backed up. You have to play just about every day next week. This week coming up. That's got to drive you nuts.
It's crazy. Now, for the first time, I think we're going to see not just one team in the conference playing 6 games in a row, as Hopatcong did a couple of weeks ago and won them all, as we mentioned. But we'll see almost every team in the conference playing 5 or 6 games in a particular week, and you have to give the advantage in that situation, I think, to teams who score a lot of runs because you're going to be facing number 3s and 4s and perhaps number 5 pitchers toward the end of the week. So teams like Hopatcong and Lenape Valley scores a bunch of runs. They've been giving up a lot of runs, but those are the teams that will perhaps tend to come out ahead when all is said and done in a 6-game week.
You know, poor Vernon, they had to play that game at Hopatcong, and they were actually the home team. Their field is in horrible shape right now, and Paul Mencher was talking to their coach after the game, and he said, listen, you know, we're not going to play in our field for a week or so now because of the weather. Even if it does dry up, well, that field's in bad shape over there.
This is, I think, the 2nd year in a row, Jerry, or 2 out of 3 years. I remember Vernon having a lot of difficulty a year or 2 ago with the same situation with a lot of rain. They didn't play a home game until halfway through the season on that particular occasion. But I really feel for Coach Huebner and the Vikings because they are in an awful lot of ball games. They're giving up not very many runs, but they're having a lot of difficulty scoring runs. They're only averaging about 2.7 runs a game in the conference, and that's not enough to win.
Another strong team in the SCIL we could talk about is the Hopatcong Lions. I went to tape their game against High Point. It was all set to go. We had the camera out there ready to roll. All of a sudden, it starts thundering like crazy. And after that was the hailstorm, of course, so we had to run out of there real fast. But disappointing. You're all set to go, ready to play a game, and all of a sudden, bam, the thunder comes, and High Point has to get back on the bus and take a long trip up Sussex.
Yep.
There's that game by the wayside, but it's got to be tough.
They'll have to play that entire game again. But as you mentioned, the Hopatcong's a strong team, Jerry. I think they're the only team in the conference now with a chance to catch the Hopatcong Chiefs. They're 2 full games back, perhaps 2.5, because Hopatcong, I think, has played 1 more game. But Hopatcong's 9-2 in the conference. They can't afford many more losses at this stage because, you know, Hopatcong has only 6 games left. They played 2/3 of their schedule, and to anticipate them losing, let's say 3 out of 6 games, unlikely. So Hopatcong is right on that fence now, and I think it's a 2-horse race.
See, when you become an AD, you have a lot to look forward to. Spring season, you have to get on the phone and tell the umpires, we're canceled. Can you come next week?
A nightmare for the ADs this week, Jerry.
Yeah.
Could be a few of them perched on the Brooklyn Bridge before the week. You never know.
I feel for those guys.
Jeez,
you know what I mean?
It's awful.
That's got to be tough.
You stop and think about all the sports. You got tennis, you got track, you got golf, you got baseball, softball. We've only played 1 baseball game all week long, 1 softball game all week long, a couple of tennis matches, one of which was indoors during a hailstorm. It's crazy.
Okay, Quinny, thank you very much for coming by. We'll see you
Pleasure,
next week,
Jerry.
okay?
We'll have a little more to talk about in terms of baseball next week,
All right.
including a Hopatcong Pope John showdown this coming Friday.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. Okay, folks, we have more to come.